Got a good view, Flo. Okay, we're back live with Mrs. Epps, and if I remember, you were in Mount Zion, a member of that
I
church.
would say at Mount Zion for approximately 28 years.
Oh, for 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And what kind of activity were you involved in at Mount Zion under Reverend Cameron?
Well, I was involved mostly with the ushers and Sunday school and mission departments, but I was really involved mostly with the ushers.
Okay. Did you go to New Hope after he, after Pastor Cameron passed?
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. And let's get back to Johnny Epps.
Yeah.
He was a police officer in San Bernardino.
Right.
While you were married to him.
Right.
And what was a typical day like, or what did he talk about when he came home as it related to his police work?
Well, some of the things, I mean, he talked about when he came home. I mean, he would talk about, maybe he would talk about the treatment of the prisoners sometime.
The prison. What was he saying about the treatment of a prisoner?
Well, he said sometimes they would get beat up.
And was he talking about all prisoners?
No, just sometimes. Some
No.
prisoners would get beat up with the hose.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But they, a black prisoner, a white
He
prisoner,
didn't
all
say.
of them?
He did not say. He did not say. He just said some of them.
And he didn't seem to like that?
No, he didn't. He didn't approve of that.
He didn't.
Mm-mm.
But he so instead of telling them, he came home and told you?
I don't know whether he told them or not, but he did tell me.
Okay. Did he find you easy to talk to and he was so glad you were home?
I guess so.
I'm just trying to get a feel for the man. I'm trying to see him emotionally and not just intellectually.
Yeah, I know. Well, Johnny was black in the mind at that time. I would say he was ahead of his time in a way because we hadn't gotten to the era
Mm-hmm.
of African Americans. And on his driver's license, his race was Afro-American. And that it wasn't really known at that time to have that classification for black people. We were Negroes.
So he saw himself as a black man.
As a black man.
He
did. Yes, he did.
But when I said man was separated from African American man,
yeah.
but he saw himself as a man.
As a man.
A man. When I said that, what kind of feeling, how would you interpret that when I say he saw himself as a man? Yes, ma'am.
As an individual that stood up for himself and for his people, I would say.
Okay. And but he would tell you about certain injustice that he saw.
That he experienced on the job. Yeah, he would. But at the time, at San Bernardino, as you know, I don't know if you know, you weren't here.
No.
But it was not too different from where I came from.
Okay. In terms of?
In terms of where black people could go. There were places that I couldn't go downtown, like
in San Bernardino.
In San Bernardino downtown, like downtown 3rd and E. That drugstore to go to the place, go to the counter and have soda. You couldn't do that.
So what area did he work in?
Well, he worked in on 3rd Street. He worked 3rd Street because at that time 3rd Street was all the way through to where the City Hall is now. That was just a street, and that was his business.
And went through.
It went through. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
because
because he was from Arrowhead, he worked from Arrowhead to East Street on 3rd Street.
And so that was considered downtown.
It was downtown.
It was downtown. So he worked downtown. A black man working downtown.
Downtown, and that was because on 33rd, on 30th and East Street was a man drag, and he would often be directing traffic, because I don't think there must have traffic light there, because he was there directing traffic.
Okay, and did he have an opportunity to, I imagine he did, interface with the merchants that were downtown?
Yeah.
How did they receive him?
Receive him. I'm sure that I don't remember Johnny talking about the merchants, but I'm sure they did. I'm sure they received him well.
So he knew how to carry himself?
Yeah, he did. He knew how to, carry himself in order to be accepted as a man.
And I like the way you use the word man. That's why you married a man. Excuse me for saying it like that, but it's good to know what you really felt about your husband at the time. How many children did y'all have?
We had 4 children.
Before he died, you had
Yes.
4 children. Now, how old was the oldest when he died in 1950?
Cynthia was, how old Cynthia was? 2? I don't know exactly. Cynthia, but the twins.
Oh, he's a twin.
He's a twin.
And how old were they?
He was not here yet.
Oh, he wasn't here yet. Okay. Well, I don't quite understand.
I was pregnant with the twins.
You were. Oh, okay. So you have Cynthia.
I have Cynthia, Zena, and a pregnancy.
Okay. So you had 2 girls. And you had 2 in the oven.
Right.
Okay. And he died.
That's right.
Okay. And I'm not a 60-minute person. I'm a regular talker here, so I don't know a better word. So now you have this family and no husband.
Right.
No living husband to take care of you right now.
That's correct.
So how did you thrive?
How did I? Oh well,
Thrive.
I had my parents.
Okay, your parents helped you?
Without my parents, I wouldn't have been able to survive.
You wouldn't have been able to survive. So it was your parents. That's
It was my
good. So where
parents.
did they live again? How far away from you?
Well, we all, at that time, I was living in Waterman Garden Annex.
Okay.
And that's where my parents lived, and that's where Johnny and I lived as
Okay.
well.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the 3rd time he goes into service now in the Army to defend his country. Prior to going into the Army, what was his assignment?
Well, he was here, he was on the force before he went the 3rd time.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
he was on the police force here in San Bernardino.
Okay.
And what do you mean, what is his assignment?
Well, it was still downtown.
Yeah, he was always downtown.
Because they said it was an incident
Oh,
downtown
yes.
at the library.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
because
trying to see his assignment as it related to that.
Well, that was, that assignment that he had was police doing this off-duty.
Oh, he was off duty.
Yeah, you know how they have assignments off-duty where they
Yes,
can
ma'am.
have jobs at night, working dances, functions
Mm-hmm.
that need protection.
Right.
That's what that was.
So you were making some extra money
Right.
to provide for these twins that was coming up.
Yeah, well, this, the twins, yeah. That's right, the twins were on the way.
So he's working.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little about that event as you remember it.
As I remember it?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, as I remember it, it wasn't pleasant, but I really don't remember too much about it. But Johnny called me and told me what had happened.
And what did he say happened?
Well, he told me, it's the story that, well, Johnny was a person that always told stories.
Okay.
And the story that he told me that it really happened, he had told me this story before, and it wasn't true.
That what?
That, he had had this accident and this something happened and blah, blah. He had absolutely told me that story before.
What? Well, tell me what it is. I don't know the story, so I don't
the
know
story
what you
about
tell.
what happened to him in,
Yes,
in the accident that he had with the young man and the gun.
Yeah, tell me about that story, because I don't know.
Well, he told me that the story, he told me before that he had had the accident and somebody had gotten killed, and it was a long, involved story.
Uh-huh.
But then it wasn't true.
How long ago was that?
I don't know exactly
But you had
the
heard
time
it
frame,
before.
but I had heard the story before, because Johnny was a storyteller.
Oh, okay. So when he told you the story
So
the second
when he told
time.
me the story that was really true,
Yes, ma'am.
I just went back to sleep.
Oh, okay. and I imagine he went to sleep too.
No, he called me and told me. He called me.
He was on the phone.
Phone.
Oh, okay. You were in the bed. He called you and told
me
you that
what had happened at the downtown at the Swing Auditorium,
And the Swing Auditorium is where?
where the library is now.
Okay.
You know where Fellheim is now?
Yes, ma'am.
That was a Swing Auditorium.
Oh, okay. And they had concerts there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where we used to go dance all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there was a dance there or a
Yeah.
concert there?
Yeah.
Do you know what concert it was?
I don't know who was there.
You don't know who was there. And what age group are the people who...
They were there. We were always young people.
They were young people?
Yeah, young people.
Like teenagers or early 20s or...
Yeah, maybe, the 20s. Had to be in the 20s because that's where we were.
Okay, then do they have drinking and...
I don't know about the alcohol. I've never seen it. I don't think they had, because it belonged to the city.
Okay.
And I don't think they had alcohol in it.
But they were partying.
There was dancing. It was music and dancing. And I'm sure they didn't have alcohol because it belonged to the city.
Okay, the Swing Auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are dancing and having a good time, and then
the incident that happened is in the paper because I wasn't there. I don't know exactly.
But I just want your memories of whatever.
Okay. Well,
don't worry about
memories...
the paper, and don't worry about anything. He talked to you.
Yeah, you did.
And I want to hear that story.
Oh, well, he told me what had happened and that it had an accident. But like I say, I didn't believe him because he had told me that story before. And I believed it. And this time it was true, and I did not believe it, so I just went on back to sleep.
Yeah. So the reason I'm asking you, it sounds like I'm asking you the same question twice.
Uh-huh.
And the reason is because since I don't know, and you say he said he has an accident, I don't know what that means because...
Well, accident of the way it was accidental shooting of this young man.
Oh, over a young man?
The accidental shooting of
A
the
young
young
man.
man.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And did he tell you why it was necessary to use the gun?
No, he didn't go into those details.
He said, would I be correct in saying, he said, there's been an accidental shooting at the Swing Auditorium, and I was involved in it?
Right, something like that.
Okay. Did he sound fearful or worried or concerned, or was he just like he was when he told you the
He
same?
did the story before.
It wasn't much difference to you?
No, it wasn't much different.
That's why you went back to sleep?
Yeah, I went back to sleep because that was Johnny, that's the way he was.
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So I'm trying to visualize this. You know, I'm from New Jersey, and I haven't been here that long, so I don't know the answers that a lot of people may know, and that's why I'm asking you about this particular incident. So after the incident, what happened to him then? Your
Well,
husband?
they had it. Well, I do know that they had an inquest because I went to the inquest with that, after the, nothing, I don't think, nothing happened to Johnny about this, you know. It was, whatever happened must have been justifiable.
Okay. And so he was found doing what was supposed to be done as a police officer
Yeah.
when he shot.
Yeah, well, he didn't shoot him. I don't know, according to the papers now, like I say, I don't know, I wasn't there. It said that he hit him with the gun and it went off.
Oh, okay. What did he say? Did he ever talk to
That's
you about
what he
it?
said.
That's what he told you.
That's what he told me.
And he had to hit him because of what?
Because they were going to, there was a number of young men crowding him.
Corralling your husband or this
Yeah,
man?
crowding my husband.
Why? What they doing now?
It was some kind of altercation that was going on, and I think Johnny was trying to control the situation, I guess.
Okay.
And they were going to attack. I guess he's of the opinion that they were going to attack him. Anyway, he hit the guy.
Hit
the gun.
One of the guys, and the gun went off. And the same guy he hit is the
guy.
gun went off and hit this guy.
No, he hit the guy with the gun, and the gun went off and killed the guy.
The same guy.
The same guy.
Okay. And the guy died.
Mhm.
And then there was an inquiry.
Yeah.
And he was found that he was justified
Yeah.
by the police officer. Did he go back to work as
Yes,
a
he
police?
did.
He went back to work as a police officer.
Yeah.
And now, how long did he work before he rejoined the army?
Well, I think as I remember this, I'm not sure my remembrance is correct. It seems to me this happened in August
Mm-hmm. Oh, 50?
in 1950,
Okay. Okay.
and I don't think that. I think Johnny went back into the service not shortly after that.
Shortly after then?
Now, yeah, because he had an accident where he lost his life was in December.
His loss is what?
Life.
Yes, ma'am. December the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So August is the incident. And after the incident, they had an inquiry.
Right.
And during the inquiry, was he still working?
Yes, he was.
He was working, and after the inquiry, he continued to work.
I don't know if he was working during the inquiry,
Okay.
but he was working afterwards, I know.
Okay. Do you know how long he worked after the
That's
inquiry
what
before he joined the
That's
army?
what I don't know
You don't know that?
exactly.
Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly how long he worked before he entered the service again, the army again,
Uh-huh.
because I think Johnny loved his uniforms.
He loved. Did he think he looked good in a uniform?
He did.
He did. Did he shine his shoes?
Yeah.
And he had his outfit clean and pressed,
Yeah,
and he
he
looked
did.
neat.
Yeah, he did. He looked neat in his uniform.
Was he a nice looking guy?
Yeah,
I see a picture of him, and it looks like me there, so I don't. I don't know. If you tell me he looked good, then you gotta say I look good. So was he a good looking man? I mean, did people think he was good looking?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people did.
How tall was he?
5'8".
He was 5'8", and he dressed nicely in his uniform.
Yeah.
He handled people with respect. He was a man. They were men and women, and he was getting along pretty well on the police force.
As far as I know, he got along well with everybody. As far as I know, I didn't hear him complaining about any problems that he was having with anybody on the force. If he had them, I don't know anything about them.
Okay, when the incident happened, how did the community itself react? Since was he the only African American police officer at that time, or did other ones come in after him before the accident?
Well, he was the only one on the force at that time, on the city force. That was one of them. That was an African American on the sheriff's department, but not in the city.
Not in the city. So how did, after he was vindicated and he came back to work, how did the community react? Was
React
it
to
different
that?
than before? Is it the same as before he was vindicated, or was it different?
Well, as far as I know, Mr. Jacob, it was the same as far as I can remember.
Okay.
It was the same. I don't think anybody had any negative feelings about as far as now. Now, I don't know how the family of this young man felt. Like, see, that's another side to this. I don't know how they felt about it. But as far as our family, because Johnny had a big family, because he had a big family there at Temple.
At Temple Baptist?
Yeah, his grandmother was there.
What was her name, you remember?
Gertrude Lewis,
Oh, Gertrude Lewis is his what?
grandmother.
Oh, she is?
Yeah,
Oh, from Louisiana?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm getting somewhere now, so. I'm getting, yeah, I'm getting somewhere. I'm trying to get this picture, and I hope you bear with me on
Oh,
this
sure.
because I haven't met you to talk to you like this before, and I've always been sort of curious as to, you know, what happened with the first African American police officer in San Bernardino. So now you say you don't know how his family felt.
Well, his family felt that they didn't have any derogatory or negative feelings about, you know, Johnny and the accident. As far as I know, I didn't hear them talking about anything negative about it.
Okay, not, in other words, after he was found not guilty of murder, then they say it's all right with him,
As far as I know.
as far as you know.
Mhm.
Okay, and, okay, I mean, we want to keep what you know. That's what we want to know, is what you know. I'm not worrying about anything else but really what you know. So then right after the accident, the twins was born.
Mhm.
Or was it right after then, the next year? Because this is December, was it 51 when the twins were born? Or?
Yeah, they were born, and they were born prematurely in March of 1951, March 8th. Is that
Okay.
right?
So 3 months after this, you got two boys or girls?
2 boys.
2 boys, and plus you already had 2 girls. So you'll have a big family.
Yes.
So how close do you think you were to your husband? Because it wasn't a long marriage,
No, it wasn't.
but it's a lot of marriage.
A lot happened.
Yeah,
It
so,
was, he had, like I always said, he had a long life in a short period of time.
uh-huh,
He did so many things to have passed away at 25.
oh, he was 25.
Yeah, he had just turned 25 on the 29th of November, and he died on the 3rd of December.
Yes, ma'am.
So he had a very short life, but he had done so many things. He had been in service 3 times. He worked here in San Bernardino. He worked a little bit in construction before he went on the force.
Uh-huh.
So I would say that he had a busy life.
Do you know what he did at Temple Missionary Baptist Church as a member?
I don't know. I don't know if he was there. I don't know
Oh,
if he
okay,
was
but the
there.
Lewises were there.
But yeah, Mrs. Lewis was there, and all her children except Johnny's mother was a member of New Hope.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Mrs. Lewis, though, at one time was a member of Temple.
Yeah, they.
And
Huh?
of Temple. Was she ever a member of Temple?
Who?
Mrs. Lewis. Or always
Gertrude
knew?
Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. She was a member of Temple,
Okay.
and all her daughters. You know, what was it? Ruth and Minnie and Ethel were all members there.
Okay. And I'm sure my wife would know that. I want to read a statement to you, and then I want your reaction to it.
Okay.
And it says that everyone is tested by life.
Right.
Everyone is tested by life. But only a few extract the strength and the wisdom that come from the most trying experiences.
Right.
Before I read any more, do you think in your life that was the most trying experience that you had, or do you have others trying experiences?
Well, I would say that was a very trying. It was very trying in the sense that I was just 24 years old,
Oh, you're 24.
and to be alone and know you really, I wasn't really alone, but I had my parents. But that's hard. You have decisions to make,
Yes, ma'am.
and you haven't been in the decision-making business for long.
Yeah, I got it. And so here you are, not experienced in making decisions, but yet they are in front of you
They're
right
here.
now.
You gotta make them. They have to be made, and nobody's gonna make them for you. You have to make those decisions, and with decision comes consequences, and you have to live with whatever consequence that comes from your decisions.
Decision.
That's what shapes your life, is your decisions.
Right. That's it. Because I was going to read the last part of this. And I'll read the whole thing, then I'll read the last part again. They say everyone is tested by life,
Right.
but only a few extract the strength and the wisdom that comes from their most trying experiences.
Right.
These, the ones who are able to get strength and wisdom from these experiences, these are the ones that we call leaders.
Yeah.
So how are you a leader from that?
Well, I don't know if I'm excuse me, I don't know if I'm so much of a leader for anyone other than my children. I try to.
So glad you said that. I'm so happy you said it, because that's probably where you led with strength and wisdom.
Yeah.
Based on that, I'm just trying to test
Yeah.
my little quote
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
And,
for
and
my children.
it didn't.
Because I mean, that's like I said, about decisions and consequences, and whatever happens from your decisions, that's what shapes your life. And it also touches the lives of the people around you,
Right.
and it has to do with those people over there.
Mm-hmm. So you may not have been. Were you involved in the NAACP or the I don't know if the Swans or any of those?
Well, I was a member of the NAACP, but I was never a member of the Swans or any of those clubs like that. But I was a member of NAACP, a member of the Eastern Star, a member of the American Legion Auxiliary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then
Try to think.
I'm almost finished,
Yeah.
and I just want to ask you a couple of more questions.
Okay.
As it related to this. What kind of stories did you tell your children, 3 and just born, about their father?
Well, I told him about he was a funny man, and he told funny stories. And the day that he told funny stories.
Can you remember one of them?
No, well, no. The only thing that I can remember that I always say to him, he talked about perspiring. He called me Sandy.
Okay.
He says, Sandy, I'm perspiring and sweating too.
Now, did any of your children get his personality in terms of humor and,
Well, I think they all have that,
okay.
Yeah, because I think they all have that,
So did your family stay close after then, including your parents
My parents?
and your children? Did
Yeah,
all
my
those
parents,
stay-
yeah, but my parents helped me with my children because they lived across the street from me and
Okay.
helped me raise my children.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, without my parents, I would have been really, really, really lost.
Okay, when did you lose, or did you lose your parents, your mother and father?
Well, I lost my father in December of 1975,
So that's 20-some years after that.
and my mother died in October of 1987.
Okay. So
So I had them a long time.
they were with you while your children
Yeah,
grew up?
really,
Okay.
Yeah, I had them a long time.
And so that must have, you said it was a great help, but it also was a great loss even when they passed.
Yeah, it was a great loss. It was a great loss because it was good to have them because, like I say, I didn't have any siblings. It was just me
Okay.
and the good Lord.
Were you spoiled?
I don't say so.
Okay. How about others? I'm talking about others. Yeah, but that's good.
That's all I can say. I don't
You
say
know
so.
about you don't think so. And so, how would you describe your total life now? If you had to rate it from 0, 1 to being bad, and 10 to be the best,
Yeah,
where will you be as you rate your whole life now? And you how old now, man?
88.
You're 88 now?
Yeah,
Okay, you were born when?
June 7th, 1926.
1926. Okay, so how would you how would you rate from 26 to, what we're in, 2014 right now?
Yeah.
How would you rate your life? And from 1
From
to
1 to
10?
10?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know. I guess I think I'm doing a 10.
Whoa! And you're still a member of New Hope.
Yeah.
And you're very established there. Did you know a man at New Hope by the name of Wilbur Brown?
I did know Wilbur before he passed away. I've been know Wilbur from Louisiana, just around the corner from his parents, are around the corner from me.
Oh, okay. So you knew him as a little boy then?
No, I didn't know him as a little boy.
Okay.
But his parents lived around the corner.
Okay.
I say they wasn't around the corner, but it
On 10th,
amen.
was it 11th? 10th Street?
Yeah,
And you lived on what?
11th Street.
On 11th Street.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Between what and what?
I lived on 11th Street between Weston and Mount Vernon.
Okay, so you were with a group of blacks who lived on the east side of Mount Vernon before they moved